Digestive enzymes. For the digestion of carbohydrates, amylase, maltase, sucrase, lactase. For the digestion of proteins, pepsin, trypsin, chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase, aminopeptidase, tripeptidase, dipeptidase. For the digestion of fats, lipase. For the digestion of nucleic acid, the DNAs, RNAs, nucleotidases, and nucleosidases. DNAs, RNAs, and nucleotidases, and nucleosidases. Others, HCl, mucus, causal intrinsic factor, enterokinase. So, amylase, maltase, sucrase, lactase for the digestion of carbohydrate. Pepsin, trypsin, chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase, aminopeptidase, tripeptidase, dipeptidase for the digestion of protein. Lipase for the digestion of fats, DNAs, RNAs, nucleotidases, nucleosidases for the digestion of nucleic acid. And HCl, mucus, causal intrinsic factor, enterokinase are the other factors of the different juices of the different places of the alimentary canal. Let's talk about digestive enzymes of the salivary juice for the digestion of carbohydrate. Amylase, we call it as ptyalin also. For the digestion of proteins, there is no enzyme. For the digestion of fats, no enzyme. For the digestion of nucleic acid, no enzyme. Sometimes we use it to say there is a little amount of lingual lipase. Lipase present here, we call lingual lipase, but mostly that is in very little amounts. The others, mucus and lysozyme. Salivary juice for the digestion of carbohydrates, amylase, and little amount of lingual lipase. Then others, mucus and lysozyme. Digestive enzymes, gastric juice for the digestion of carbohydrate, no enzyme. For the digestion of proteins, pepsin and prorenin. Prorenin is infant enzyme. For the digestion of fats, gastric lipase, little amounts. For the digestion of nucleic acid, no enzyme. And others like HCl, mucus, and causal intrinsic factor. Then digestive enzymes, pancreatic juice. For the digestion of carbohydrates, amylase. For the digestion of proteins, trypsin, chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase. For the digestion of fats, lipase. For the digestion of nucleic acid, DNAs, RNAs. We call it as nucleases. The others, mucus. So, amylase for the digestion of carbohydrates in the pancreatic juice, trypsin, chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase for the digestion of proteins in the pancreatic juice, lipase for the digestion of fats in the pancreatic juice, DNAs and RNAs, so-called nucleases for the digestion of nucleic acids in the pancreatic juice, mucus in the others category. Intestinal juice, digestive enzymes of the intestinal juice. For the digestion of carbohydrate, maltase, sucrase, lactase. For the digestion of proteins, tripeptidase, dipeptidase, that aminopeptidase, tripeptidase, dipeptidase, and aminopeptidase. For the digestion of fats, lipase. For the digestion of nucleic acid, for the digestion of nucleic acid, nucleotidases and nucleosidases. The others, enterokinase and mucus. So for the digestion of carbohydrate, maltase, sucrase, lactase in the intestinal juice. Tripeptidase, dipeptidase, aminopeptidase for the digestion of proteins in the intestinal juice. Then nucleotidases, nucleosidases, and nucleosidases, tidases. Okay. Then for the digestion of fats, the lipase for the digestion of nucleic acid in the intestinal juice, nucleotidases, nucleosidases, enterokinase and mucus in the others category in the intestinal juice. Next, bile juice. For the digestion of carbohydrates, no enzyme. For the digestion of proteins, no enzyme. For the digestion of fats, no enzyme. For the digestion of nucleic acid, no enzyme. That means there is no enzyme for the digestion of carbohydrate, protein, fats, and nucleic acid in the bile juice. So what are present? In the others category, that glycolates and tarchalates of sodium, which we call them as bile salts, bilirubin and biliverdin, which we call them as bile pigments. This is about the digestive enzymes to be memorized and to know the action of each and every enzyme. That first of all, you should learn enzymes and they meant for what? For the digestion of carbohydrates or proteins or fats or nucleic acid. That we have to check it out. And finally, they should come like this: amylase, maltase, sucrase, lactase for the digestion of carbohydrate. Pepsin, trypsin, chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase, aminopeptidase, tripeptidase, dipeptidase for the digestion of protein. Lipase for the digestion of fats. DNAs, RNAs, nucleosidases for the digestion of nucleic acid. HCl, mucus, caseal intrinsic factor, enterokinase for in others category. Then should practice like this: amylase from salivary juice and pancreatic juice, maltase, sucrase, lactase from intestinal juice, pepsin from gastric juice, trypsin, chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase from pancreatic juice, aminopeptidase, tripeptidase, dipeptidase from intestinal juice, lipase, little amount in the salivary juice, lingual lipase, then gastric lipase, and pancreatic lipase, intestinal lipase. DNAs and RNAs from pancreatic juice, nucleosidases from intestinal juice, HCl from gastric juice, mucus in salivary, gastric, pancreatic, intestinal juice, caseal intrinsic factor from gastric juice, enterokinase from intestinal juice.